Hello everyone. So this is my birthday book haul. It was my birthday last Friday and the day itself was pretty shit. Didn't really go too well, but I had pre-ordered a stack of books from Book Depository that had been in my shopping cart / wish list for a very long time. So on the book side of things it went very well, and there was yummy cake, which is always important. So yeah, there's kind of a theme going to this book haul, because as many of you know, I love fairy tale retellings, and the beginning of May, the book rat Misty had Fairy Tale Fortnight on her blog, and she was doing stuff on her YouTube channel as well, and I'll link that in the doobly-doo in my pants, and it was fantastic, and I love her recommendations, I love her reviews. She's very intelligent, very well-read, insightful lady, and I always take her advice and take her recommendations into consideration. So a lot of the books in this list were ones that she, well, a few of them, sorry, were ones that she'd recommended, but for the most part they were books I'd wanted for a while. I tried to limit myself to my selections being $12 or under, so that I could get more for less money, kind of thing. The only exception was Bitter Blue by Kristen Shaw, because it is a new release and I just wanted it so badly I had to pay the $18.98 or whatever it was to get it. It is in paperback, which is good because my other ones are in paperback, and it's bloody huge, but I was just so desperate to get hold of it, so I kind of couldn't wait for that one to get its price lowered. And as always, there were tons of books that I wanted to get, but I had a limit. My parents told me to set a limit, so I did. And yeah, I can get the other ones in the future. But yeah, there's sort of a fairy tale retelling-ish feel to these books here. So, okay, we've got The Book of Lost Things by John Connolly. I believe it's a middle grade book, but apparently the tone is quite mature, and this was a direct recommendation from Misty at the Book Rat. So it sounds very cool. And I like this cover. This was the cheaper. I always go for the cheaper option, so I don't pick for cover, I pick for price. But I actually think this cover's pretty nifty. Yeah, I think it captures a nice feel there. Next one, I am actually reading this at the moment, so I should have probably put that in my video beforehand, but I've got Sweetly by Jackson Pierce. I did enjoy Sisters Red. It wasn't great, but it was certainly enjoyable and interesting, so I want to continue with her fairy tale retellings. This one I've wanted for a while. It's not a fairy tale book, but because I've seen it, this series recommended for anyone who likes Eon and Eona by Alison Goodman, and this is Silver Phoenix. It's the first in the series, and it has the Asian fantasy feel going on. So, and I've heard a lot of good things about it, so picked this up to kind of be a friend to my Eon books. This book I've wanted for a while, Huntress by Melinda Lowe. And it's not, I think it's a companion novel to Ash, which was her Cinderella retelling, and it's set in the same world, but I believe it's many years before. I think it's many centuries earlier than the events of Ash. But it sounds cool, and I like huntresses. Yay for ladies who kill things. And yeah, I wanted to read it for a while, so. This one was a random choice, but I like Leslie Livingston. She wrote the Wondrous Strange series, and I just thought it was a cool title. This is Once Every Never, and I believe that the main character is a druid, which is interesting. So I like slightly random fantasy lore being incorporated into things, so I'm just curious to see what she does with this one. So this is Warped by Marissa Gilbold. I can't pronounce that name at all, but it involves tapestries and unicorns and time travel and all sorts of things, and it sounds really cool. So I love unicorns, as you know, from my love of Rampant and Descendant by Diana Peterfriend, and I just thought I'd been looking at this one for a little while whenever I went on to Book Depository, so yeah, I just thought it'd be cool. It's fairy tale retelling. This is Entwined by Heather Dixon. I believe it is a retelling of the 12 Dancing Princesses. I always, in my head, think it's meant to be 7 Dancing Princesses, but I believe that's a different fairy tale, yeah? There's a different one involving 7 sisters. Anyway, this is Entwined, and I'm pretty damn sure it's 12 Dancing Princesses, but I've heard that it's a very enjoyable novel, and of course the cover's very pretty. and as I really do like Juliet Marilia's Wildwood Dancing, I thought I should probably read another retelling of this particular fairy tale. So I don't know why, but whenever I see this book, I'm reminded that I would really like to get Enchanted, which I think is the retelling of The Fog Prince, but at the moment it's still only in hardback, so it's like $16, $17 I think, so it didn't fit into my price range. This is The Near Witch by Victoria Schwab, and I've heard a lot of good things about this, and it's apparently got a fairy tale feel to it, and those sort of elements are put in there as well, even though it's kind of just a fantasy supernatural book. I've been told a lot of people wished it was longer, but all the same I've still heard a lot of good things, so yeah, I thought I'd pick that up. And then finally I was very excited for this one, Cinder by Marissa Meyer, and this is of course a retelling of Cinderella, and she's a cyborg in New Beijing, I think it is, and I just think that's awesome. So look at her wearing her glass slipper, and I've heard this is very enjoyable too and quite clever. So, and apparently Marissa Meyer is doing a few, the Lunar Chronicles, yes, so she's going to be doing a few fairy tale retellings in her series, so hooray for that. And then also the other day I went to sting on my legs. I went to a second-hand bookstore with my friend the other day to try and cheer me up after my not-so-great birthday, and I did some retail therapy, even though I shouldn't have because I have so many books I haven't read yet, and grabbed a few books for cheap. One of them that I got was Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin, because I do watch the TV series, and I know that, as with anything, the books come highly recommended and people prefer them over the TV show, even though the TV show is very good. So, yeah, I thought I'd get the first one, because goodness knows how long it's actually going to take me to read this damn thing. But, at some point in my life I would like to read the Song of Fire and Ice series, because I do love my high fantasy. It's very rare that I actually read huge tomes of it anymore, so we'll read this at some point. Lara will be very happy with me. I've had my friend's copy of Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell for ages, but I really want to give it back to her so she can have it and she knows where it is. So I got myself a copy so that I'd have it here, and I can take as long as I want to read it because I won't have to worry about returning it. So yeah, got my own copy of the novel by Susanna Clarke. And I definitely want to read it because when I read The Night Circus, I thought to myself, I know a lot of people say that if you like this, you'll like this, and vice versa, so yeah, but it's so big, and I'm sad that it's got this cover and not just the plain red one, because I've become accustomed to that, but all the same, I've got this, so good. Something I should have probably read a very long time ago, but I kept putting it off because I thought I'd be too offended and angry. The Handmaiden's Tale by Margaret Atwood, because it's such a famous dystopian feminist work, and I know that I should read it, and so I shall do one day, and I'm glad I have this cover because I think it's really evocative. The sequel to Chocolat, I've got the companion novel, which is The Lollipop Shoes by Joanne Harris, but I got The Girl with No Shadow because I really enjoyed Chocolat, and I like magic realism a lot in contemporary fiction in my adult books. So yeah, I got the sequel. Then this one was a random pick, but it sounds fun. It's called The Heroines, and it's by Eileen Favourite. Cool last name. And apparently it's about this hotel where heroines from, like, fictional characters from famous novels come and stay there. All female characters, like Madame Bovary and Anna Karenina. They all come and stay in this hotel and congregate together, so I thought that just sounds like a lot of fun. So I grabbed that. Then I got two books by Angela Carter because I really love her, linking back to fairy tale retellings, I really love her anthology, The Bloody Chamber, and her writing is really interesting and weird and kind of crazy and nifty. And I've seen a lot of reviews for her other works that apparently have the same sort of feel and slightly odd bent to them. So I grabbed Nights at the Circus, of course that made me think of The Night Circus, and I grabbed The Magic Toy Shop. And I believe they still have some kind of fairy tale aspects to them, but they're both meant to be pretty damn crazy. Of course, the blurb rather for The Nights at the Circus is one of those ones that gives you absolutely no clue as to what the book is about, because all it contains excerpts from reviews which tell you nothing, so I don't really know what the hell this is about. But still, it's Angela Carter, and I think her work's really cool, so, and I'd like to read more of her novels, so. That was my birthday book haul, I think. Did I grab everything? I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, I think that's everything. So, birthday books, hooray for fairy tale retellings, and I have a lot to read. A lot to read. Okay, so that's all for now, and I'll see you soon. I'll try and do some tags and stuff.